Hi, I'm Bobby Peer with TAPinto, and I'm here today with Marianne Middlebrook, who is Miss Wheelchair New Jersey 2025. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Bobby. It's good to be here and good to talk to you.
I can't wait to hear your story and what all of this entails. So, can you tell me a little bit about what it means to be recognized as Miss Wheelchair New Jersey?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not something that I ever thought I would be doing or the position I ever thought I would be in. I applied kind of on a whim last year in the fall because it popped up on my Facebook that they were looking for um, people to apply. And I was like, I told my parents, and they were like, "You should go for it." And I applied, and like the competition was really like interesting, and they asked a lot of good questions, and it really kind of brought me out of my comfort zone. The whole
Okay,
thing has, to be honest. And I think that like it's been real to answer your question. It's been really like special for me to like not only be recognized as that, but to kind of like get the chance to grow in a way that I haven't like maybe been able to so far, or and also to like meet people and like do things and go to events that I wouldn't have otherwise gotten to attend. So it's been a really like cool experience for me.
that's great. And I'm sure it's a great advocacy
Hmm.
for the handicapped where
Hmm.
you don't, I mean, you have limitations, but you're beyond that and you're proving that you can really do anything you set your mind to.
I appreciate that. Yeah, definitely. I think, and like, I guess we'll get into more about the advocacy part, but I think that like it's been a cool chance for me to, just like you said, be an advocate. I feel like I've had to advocate for myself for all of my needs as soon as I became an adult, and my parents couldn't do it for me anymore. And so it's kind of always been a part of my life. So like to get to do that for like in a more like public way has been cool.
That's great. And I saw an article that was done back in January that you went back to the Children's Specialized Hospital with,
Hmm.
I believe you had the crown and you showed the patients there that this is something that you can do.
Hmm. Definitely. Yeah. I was a patient at Children's Specialized forever, probably from I got my first power chair there when I was like 4.
Oh,
Um
wow.
and I kind of switched over to Kessler Rehab, which is kind of just the adult version of it.
Okay.
When I turned like 26. So I
Wow.
was a patient there for a long time, and it was really cool to be back. Well, I love kids, and the kids are so adorable, but also to just be like, be able to kind of be that person for them, to like give them like hope, even if it was just for um like a day.
Yeah.
It's cool, and like I don't know, it just kind of made me think too that like my parents always still telling me how like if they had someone like me in their life when I was young and they didn't know anybody else in the situation, like how much better it would have been for them and me. So like
Yeah.
now that I get to kind of like do that, it feels amazing, honestly.
I'm so happy for you. Now, you talk a little bit as to what you have? I know that it's the
Hmm.
spinal muscular atrophy. Is that
Hmm.
what it's called?
Yep, so that's what it's called, spinal muscular atrophy. It's type 2 technically.
Okay.
The types are based on severity and like onset of symptoms. It's basically it's a type of muscular dystrophy.
Okay.
So it's genetic. I was born with it. And I was diagnosed at like 11 months because I wasn't
Okay.
reaching a lot of the milestones that babies do, like rolling over, crawling, like those kinds of things. And so they did a bunch of testing and finally figured it out. Um, and um, so that's kind of my general disease. And the reason I have it type 2 is because of the time that I was diagnosed.
Okay. Now, so you've been in a wheelchair pretty
Mhm.
much your whole life.
Yep, I had my first one. I got my first one when I was 2.
Okay.
Before that, I had like one of those like essentially strollers, but it was kind of like a modified stroller.
Oh,
And then when I got old enough to kind of have those like hand-eye coordination and things like that, like they gave me the electric one, and I've had that ever since.
and you can control it yourself. And you've been in the public school district
Yes.
for your entire school career. And
Mhm.
what I'm so proud of you about is going. I know that you got your degree at Drew University and then your master's at Columbia University.
Mhm.
And now you are a professional therapist, correct?
Yes. So after high school I went to Drew for psychology and English.
Okay.
And then I went to Columbia for my master's in social work. And then I always I got licensed as a social worker and I still have that license, but I always kind of wanted to do, I've always been a school person. So
Okay.
I always like wanted to do like I got the idea in my head of maybe doing like the doctorate degree. So I actually did end up doing that at
Oh,
College of
wow.
St. Elizabeth in Morristown. So
Oh, amazing.
I went straight from Columbia to College of St. Elizabeth to get my PsyD in counseling psychology. So I finished that up in 2023. I can't believe it's been 2 years
Oh,
already.
wow. I
And
missed that part of it. That's incredible.
thank you. And then I've been working at Summit Psychological Services. It's a like an outpatient private practice in Summit.
Okay.
For 2 years now since I graduated. So it's been like lots and lots and lots of school, but I can say for the most part I've loved all of it. A little bit burnt out by the end, but that happens.
Well, congratulations.
Thank
Now,
you.
what do you think was the biggest? I mean, I think being in a wheelchair is challenging in itself, but what has been some of the challenges that you're extremely proud of overcoming with all of going through K through 12, then all your advanced degrees?
Um, I don't, I think life can be challenging on a day to day, just kind of like navigating through like things that come up. Nothing like specifically is coming into my mind,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. But I think that like that's part of the reason why I always like if you're talking about in terms of school in general, like in specific, I think that's why part of the reason why I've always liked school so much is just because I feel like I didn't have a lot of challenges in that environment, right? Like
Okay.
I always was like pretty smart and got good grades and like had friends and
Yeah.
like I feel like it was kind of a place where like I was like kind of even with everyone.
Which is amazing because I feel that a common topic is all these teenagers, even younger, have such issues with mental health these
Mhm.
days. And you seem so balanced and it's probably because of who you surround yourself with.
I definitely think that's a big part of it, and also my family is amazing.
Mhm.
I can definitely brag about them. My parents are awesome, and they're super supportive of me. They still are, and they always have been.
Yeah.
And kind of with the general like mindset of like if you wanna do it, you can do it, and,
Mm,
like, we'll help you figure out, like, what that looks like, kind of,
yeah,
and I feel like I really internalized that, um, attitude because that's really how I see the world. Like,
that's
I feel
good.
like I, like, see it in a way where I'm like, "Yeah, I know that I'm different, but, like, I still went to prom and I still lived away at college and I still like I got like a PhD and like not everybody gets to do that and like all of these like things that are just like so like cool that I've gotten to do and it's like yeah it just kind of I think it really like goes back to just like the way I was raised and like the way that I was like raised to see the world if that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah, no, I think, family has a lot to do with it, and you do have a
Totally.
special family.
I do.
Now, were there any people along the way or moments that, like, especially inspired you to keep going?
Um, well, I mean, my parents are number one, like I
Yeah,
said, like, they're constantly encouraging me, especially when I was younger, to, like, you know, do what I want and not let anything step in the way of that and like all of that. And so I think that they're probably the number one influences that I have. And and like I think just like um my education I think is a bit has been a big influence on me too, like in terms of like getting the tools to like, do a job that is so meaningful, is so right up my alley, and is something that, like, I can do independently.
mhm.
I don't know if I'm, like, fully answering your question, but that's, like, where my
No, I
mind
think that's
went.
fantastic because you just answered my next question as to what made you want to go into psychology?
So, I'll tell you, like, the first reason, is that I had a friend in high school who had a lot of mental health, um, challenges, and one time I saw how much she struggled with her issues, and one time she brought me with her to her therapist,
Okay.
and that was the first kind of exposure I had to like seeking therapy. I had never been in therapy before. And so I was like, oh my gosh, like this is so cool. And like I could do this. Like and that was like kind of what piqued my interest. And then like there are so many other reasons why it kind of lines up with me. Like I think like I was saying before, it's a job I can do independently. I love to talk. I get paid to do it now. um, I I'm really interested in psychology. I always have been, just the
Okay.
topic of it. And then also like the other big piece of it too, which I kind of have come to the conclusion of more recently. I think that a lot of it is it's my way of being able to give back what I've gotten. Right, like I've gotten so much help to like get to where I am now,
Yeah.
and like I may be a little bit limited in the way that I can in like what I can do to give it back, but like this is something I can do, and it feels good to like be able to do that, right? To be able to kind of like pay it forward in a way that I enjoy so much.
I love that. You are a very special person.
Thank
Now,
you.
what would your message be for the people that you are either visiting while you're on this journey of being Miss Wheelchair New Jersey? When you see little kids, what is your message to them?
I think, not to be cheesy, but like keep on going.
Mhm,
Is a good one because like I know that like if I didn't have the support that I have, it may have been harder to keep on going.
mhm,
And like some people I know don't have what I have. So like I think that's a really important reminder, and also just that like you're as cool as anybody else that can walk, right?
yeah,
Like it doesn't define you, um, what you can or can't do physically because everyone needs help with something, right? And
mhm,
everybody has their own like challenges that they deal with. It's just that mine happen to be physical.
yeah. I love that. I always say that certain things don't define me.
Mhm.
When you face struggles, you can get through it.
Mhm.
So I love that lesson. Now, let's go back to the platform of Miss Wheelchair New Jersey and America. Like, what do you think platforms like this, why are they important? Like, what message should people get out of a platform like this?
You mean out of my platform or
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so my platform kind of combines like the two biggest parts of my life, really. My disability and my like work in the mental health field. Um, and so my platform is kind of promoting mental health care and the importance of that for the disability community in specific. Obviously, it's important for everyone, but that's my um, platform. And I guess I'll tell you like it seems kind of obvious the way that that came together.
Yeah,
But also I feel like I've noticed in my own healthcare, like physical healthcare journey, that like it's rare, if ever, that like a medical doctor will ask you about your mental health or like how do you feel about needing this surgery or how do you feel about starting this medication or whatever it's been um especially when I was younger and like it's scary when you're a kid and you don't like understand why things are the way that they are
right.
and like I think that that's kind of part of what kind of makes this so important I think because I think that that needs to change, right? Like, if you have a physical disability, it doesn't mean that your mental health isn't also suffering. It doesn't have to be, but of course, it makes sense why it might be, right?
Yeah,
And I think that like there needs to be more like collaboration and like attention to both.
I you're fantastic. And that kind of answers my next question, but you can maybe go a little further because I do think that there has been progress with medicine and people that have your muscular
Mhm.
deficiency. So, what is your hope for the future?
So, I mean, I can tell you I've been on 2, FDA approved medications for
Okay.
my specific, disease. One of them I no longer take. it was kind of like the first version of it was um spinal injected meditation. So I would go to the hospital and get the injections every couple of months of this meditation. And then
Okay.
it got replaced by a daily oral meditation, which is the one that I take now. So it's a liquid that I take every day.
Okay.
And it's really promoted like I'd say my overall stability. Whereas by this time I'm 30 now. And so by
Okay.
this time, I would definitely have started to see some decline. And that's something I haven't seen. So I think for me so far, meditation has been all about like stability and like maintenance of symptoms, and things like that. But like there's gene therapy now. And that's for babies diagnosed via newborn screening.
Okay.
And so that doesn't apply to me, but my hope for the future is that people with my condition, um, don't have to deal with what I had to deal with. Not and I should say too, like I'm not saying that I like wish anything different for my life because I also think that like having SMA has made me the person that I am in like all of the good ways. So like I don't want like I wouldn't want to have changed it, but like if future people could be cured and not have to deal with any of the not so good parts of it that I've had to deal with, like that would be really awesome. So I guess that's my hope for the future.
Uh, I- Again, I think that this has been such an enlightening conversation, and I truly appreciate you talking with me. So, for moving forward to the Miss Wheelchair America, what
Mhm.
is the next process? What's the next steps?
So I'm leaving to head to Michigan, with I believe 21 other girls. So including me, 22 states
Okay.
will be represented. So 22 state like winners. We're all meeting in Michigan, um, on August 17th.
Okay, right around the corner.
Yeah, and we're gonna be competing for the title, so basically a chance to kind of represent the whole country, right, and travel around and advocate and spread our platforms, and also like, you know, make some new friends, right? All of these
Yes.
girls have had like similar experiences and similar kind of wanting to advocate. So I'm really looking forward to the chance to kind of meet some new minded disabled people. Um, but I guess but so that's kind of it's a week long competition. There's lots of different components, like there's an essay, there's interviews, there's a speech. They're looking at all of the things that we did throughout the year, all the events that we went to, things like that. So there's like a lot of pieces that go into it in terms of like how they're choosing the winner.
And then from there, I'm sure there's going to be a lot more um, advocacy and just getting everything out there for the public to know what can be done in the future, right?
Yes, and there's actually a set itinerary. So if
Okay.
you win, there's an itinerary that they have already set, including like trips across the country to different events, different things that we have to attend, certain things that we can do in our own state.
Okay.
But there's quite a few, there's probably 10 things that we have to do during the year, and 5 or 6 of them are trips. So
Okay.
I would be very busy if I won.
I think you're going to be very busy regardless, and I wish you the best of luck. And please keep in touch and let us know how it all pans out. And you're a winner in my books.
Thank you so much. It was really, really good to talk to you.
Nice talking to you too.